For this section, we're going to look at modifying the worksheet some more. We're going to look at how to insert cells, delete cells, insert and delete rows and columns, as well as hide and unhide rows or columns. I'll start with inserting a cell. Probably the easiest place for you to see this is for me to click in A12. And if we were to insert a cell, we are going to go to the Home tab, to the Cells group, and where it says Insert, we're going to click the drop down, and we're going to click Insert Cells. It should populate in between right now our current row 11 and 12, so we should have a cell between Control V and Control X. So we're going to shift the cell down to do that and click OK. So here we are. Try it one more time for you. I'll come up here to where it says Amanda, Amanda, and you'll be able to notice. Again, the cells group, insert, insert cells, shift cells down, and now it has given us an additional cell in between. If you want to delete a cell, let's say we don't want the cell any longer, should just be able to click Delete Cell, and this time it's going to shift the cell up. So it's going to enclose row 5 and 7 so that they are now on top of each other when we take row 6 out. So now that becomes row 6. If you're wanting to insert a row, you have to click on the outside of the number here where you see it's green. And so we'll click there, and you'll notice it highlights the entire row. And if we go Insert, Insert Sheet Rows, and now it also inserted a sheet row and put a space between the two Amandas there. It'll generally always populate up, even if it doesn't ask you how you want to shift those cells. So I go to 12, Insert, and I just click the top of it, and you notice it did the whole row. I didn't even hit the drop down. So that's another way to do that. If we want to delete, should be able to go to Delete Sheet Rows, and it will bring it back as well. And as you've probably guessed, it works the same for the columns. You need to highlight or select where you want the column to be. And it should populate if we have column B highlighted. If we insert a new one, it should fall between A and B. But let's check it out. So Insert, Insert Sheet Columns, and yes, here's where we inserted a new column, and it did fall between the A and the B. So now we have A, B, and C, and our B is empty. If you want to delete the column, now you just hit Delete Sheet Column. Pretty simple. You can hide or unhide rows and columns as well. Now, why would you want to hide or unhide a column? Sometimes when you're doing a spreadsheet, and this has happened, in real life for myself working with spreadsheets, is you may have a lot of different headers up here, and it may go clear off the page. But there may be some things that you use more frequently, like I need to know their name, I need to know their phone number, their email address. I don't always need to know their date of birth or other information that might not be as, something I need readily available all the time. But maybe I do still need to have access to it, but I don't necessarily need to see it every time. So that can kind of condense your spreadsheet and bring it to where you can see it easier. So that's why you might want to hide a column. So let's say, this was something we didn't really need to know, the customer number. We could go ahead and select this. If we right click it, we can click Hide. So now it brings over service requested. I can see Amanda and whatever service she needs. I don't really need to know her customer number. Okay. We know that there's a column hidden here because of this little line, and you can hardly see it, but it shows that there's a placeholder there. If we want to bring it back, all we have to do is click really where that placeholder is and double click, and it'll bring the customer number back. So we can go to hide, or if you right click, you can click unhide. I always told you there's usually more than one way to do that. So I just need to get in the right place. It's much easier, I think, for me just to double click than to actually go to where it says unhide. There's also one other way to hide as well. On the Home tab, in the Format drop-down, you can see hide or unhide as well. So you can hide rows, columns, a sheet. So if we wanted to hide the columns, the column that we were in, that's how we would do that. Or if we wanted to hide this John Doe row, and so now the row is hidden, and you also see that little line there. Double click, should bring them back. That sums up inserting, deleting both of rows and columns and cells, in addition to hiding and unhiding rows and columns.